Hey y'all, so I'm gonna do a little quick story time. And this is also another reason why you have to exercise sexual self control. Okay? Because if a previous partner knows that you are addicted to sex, or they know that it don't take much for you to want to romp in the hay, they can manipulate you with that. Anything that's your weakness, a person can beat you over the head with it and manipulate you to get what they want. Okay? I want to show you this cute little pin. Look at that. Isn't that adorable? I forgot how to put it in. I'm trying to put the wrap through it, and I'm like, wait a second. I think I remember. But I just love it. This little pin here. You just put it over a piece of the wrap and then put the pin in, and it holds it in place. I haven't used it in a long time, so I'm kind of lost. Anyway, move right along. So I knew a friend that I started off coaching her, and we became friends. And she was with a previous narcissist, and I'll give you an idea of the type of narcissistic crap he used to pull so that you can get an idea of how crazy his behavior was. Okay. Remember, they're weak for control. When you know what they're weak for, you snatch it from underneath them. They're weak for control, 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 control over you. You are their employee. You are not their partner. In their mind, you are their employee and someone to be dominated. So she was seeing this fool, and he has cheated on her before. She has gone away and then come home, and he's washing the sheets on the bed. She came home early. He's washing sheets on the bed. He don't wash sheets, okay? But he was washing the sheets. So there's a clear sign that he was fooling around. They've gotten into physical fights before. And at one point they were on a road trip, and she had to use the restroom really badly. And, eventually you feel like your bladder is going to explode if you don't get to use the restroom. And he deliberately, because this is what narcissists do, that he deliberately drove by all the restrooms, all the public restrooms, gas stations, just drove right by. I'm like, whew. I said I'd be tempted to take a whiz right in his car. I'll fix your ass. Then I thought, well, not really, because then your clothes are wet, right? Okay. So it wouldn't be a good idea. You just get rid of the person. And I had her on the right track. Oh, let's go to the store to get ice cream. Let's go with them to use our binoculars and watch what went down when they were in the ice cream shop, okay? They were at the drive-thru, so I don't know if it was Dairy Queen or whatever it was. And she wanted nuts, or sprinkles or whatever it was. Let's just say it was nuts because I don't remember. And he didn't want her to have nuts because he's got to be in control, right? That's their biggest weakness. When you know what their weakness is, snatch it from underneath them. And he said, the Sunday, let's say it's a Sunday without nuts. And she said, with nuts, because they were in the drive-thru. She's telling the person, with nuts. He said, without nuts. She said, with nuts. I want it with nuts. So she got it with nuts. And when the guy in the window gave it to her ex, because he was driving, they were still together, he saw that it had nuts on it. And when they drove away, he flung the ice cream against the building. How many more signs do you need that this is a poisonous person? Okay. So I had her talking good sense, and I had her on the right track and not really craving him, pretty much going into her own life, doing her own thing without being with a demon, just giving yourself the input and the love that you need, and making really good progress with that. And she was talking like she had sense. And then one day, out of nowhere, she started talking crazy. I really miss him, and I want to see him again, and I'm gonna pay for him to fly to come see me. And I said, Why? I miss him. You miss being treated like crap? Well, he sent me a picture and this and that. And she was acting all kind of stupid. So let me tell you what she's not going to tell me, and what I figured out, okay? I do believe he sent her a dick pic. Y'all heard me. I think he sent her a dick pic when he got his mind to where it stands up at attention and sent her that picture. Like, look what you're missing. Look at that. And I think she fell for it because she started acting very dumb, very irrational, and went chasing after him again. When I tried to find more information, she stopped talking to me. When someone knows what your biggest weakness is, they're going to get you bullseye right in your weakness, right in it, because you made it easy. All I got to do is get a boner and show you a picture, and you're like, oh. Or in a man's case, spread eagle, take a picture, or naked boobs, or whatever it is that has your mind spun. That person is going to use that to their advantage and use that to get you to fall back into their trap. You have to exercise discipline. Male or female, doesn't matter. You have to exercise discipline. Because otherwise, you make it real easy for the person to play you and to use that as a weapon. Okay? Let me tell you this other quick story. My friend knew of a lady who was in a relationship, and I think they were married. I can't remember exactly. But every time he acted a fool, she was done. She was tired of him. Well, she had a weakness. Her weakness was, if she had long hair, okay? If you grab her by the neck right here and you pull her head back and you start kissing her real deeply, you grab her here and somehow pull her hair back. I don't even know how the procedure, whatever it was, she fell for it. That's her she would turn into mashed potatoes. So every time, right, this is what I mean when you have to exercise discipline. Every time she wanted to be done with him, he would use that tactic because it works. He would use that tactic because it works. Okay? If somebody gives you little nibbles on your neck and they feel you go, they know they got you. So what are they going to do? When you're trying to break up with them, that's what they're going to use. If they know that we're going to keep it real up in here, if they know that being rough with you in bed gets you hot and bothered and you can't think straight, guess what's going to happen to you? They're going to jump on you and be rough in the bed because that's what works. You have to let your anger and your disgust surpass your sexual desire, because I don't have desire for people I'm pissed at. I don't have a desire for people that don't respect me. I don't care how many pics you show me. You're blocked anyway, so you ain't gonna be showing me nothing. But whatever it is you're weak for, if you're weak for flowers, somebody gives you flowers and you just turn into liquid, you're going to get flowers or deep kisses or whatever it is that makes you hot and bothered. That's what the person's going to use as a weapon. So you have to exercise discipline, and not go for it. And if that when they kiss you on your neck, you're like, and you're just like that, you're just a rag doll. You don't let them get nowhere near your neck, and you need to be packing your bags and getting out of there anyway, or they need to be packing their bags and get out of there no way, so you don't have an opportunity. And I'm so disgusted with you, I don't even want to look at you, much less do you, right? So your anger, and I've told you this before, your anger and your disgust is a weapon that propels you in the opposite direction away from this person so that they cannot use your weaknesses against you. All right? They cannot use it because they're not in your vicinity. You've blocked them. We're done. Okay? And so far as y'all you got to learn to recognize narcissistic behavior, and you have to have, I've said this time and time and time again, and this ties into sex, right? You have to have criteria when you have children with people. You have to have criteria. Everybody should not be able to lay you and make children with you because there ain't no criteria. There has to be criteria. You have to have ethics. You have to have morals. You have to have the ability to be loyal and faithful. You have to be respectful. You have to treat me with class and dignity and care about my needs. You have to have respect for women. You have to meet a criteria in order for you to lay down with somebody and make kids with them. You don't just make kids because you're so desperate for a child that you'll take it from Pookie on, crackhead Pookie on the corner because he got a wiener, so I might as well get a kid with him. He can get me pregnant. He don't even qualify to be a good father. He can't even be a dad to himself. He can't even take care of himself. Okay? There needs to be criteria. Don't let your emotions or your sex drive cause somebody to beat you over the head to the point where you have no strength. Once that person targets your weakness, you got no strength and no discipline. You can't do that. And once you recognize what your weakness is, you don't let them target it. You don't let them target your weakness. I'm going to tell you this quick story and then we go. There was a guy, he's an anesthesiologist, and his wife is a nuclear engineer. My lip feels funny. Anyway, his wife is a nuclear engineer. He's an anesthesiologist. And I promise you, he is doing someone else. Because that's when your spouse wants to eliminate your life. That's when they want to divorce you. That's when they start treating you worse and worse and worse and worse. They may start beating you up. They treat you really badly. You're like, hey, good morning. Because they're cocky, because they're banging someone else. They want to, that's the number one reason why someone wants to eliminate their spouse. Number one reason is because they're doing someone else, and or they want the insurance money. Okay? Money is a real big motivator to commit murder. Okay? So, on her birthday, he took her to Hawaii. Hawaii has many, cliffs and volcanoes, mountains, the whole 9 yards. He tried to push her off a cliff. And when that didn't work, he beat her in the face and in the head with a rock multiple times. She's now in critical condition. Witnesses on the trail that they were on saw what he was doing and went after him. Thank God for them. They went after him. Okay? And he ran like the little coward that he is. And they brought out the cars, the police, and the helicopters, and they found him hiding in the bushes because that's what cowards do. And he's lost everything. And someone said, I think he fell in love with one of his patients. No. People like him do not fall in love with people. They fall in lust. And when they fall in lust, that's a very dangerous time because that could be when they decide to eliminate you and the children. Okay. Chris Watts, perfect example. He was such a great dad and such a great husband, and he cared about me so much. When we were dating, I wasn't feeling well, and I laid in his lap, and he let me lay in his lap for 2 hours without moving, and he's such a good guy. He started begging someone else and eliminated his entire family, his pregnant wife and his 2 daughters. Okay, Chris Watts. Y'all know this story. Okay. The moment they start getting with someone else, it's a bad deal. And he eliminated his whole family. That's a clear sign they're doing someone else, usually. So, you can have the best of everything. I mean, the nuclear engineer and an anesthesiologist, oh, please. Their life was so cushy and they have so much money, it's unbelievable. But that wasn't enough for him. Okay? It wasn't enough. It's disgusting. And I promise you, I don't remember his name, but I promise you, if you look it up, there's a clip on YouTube. It's an Inside Edition clip. It's not very long. It's like a minute long or something. A minute and change. Anesthesiologist tried to murder his wife in Hawaii. And thankfully, strangers rescued her. And she's now in critical condition. Wow. Just wow. Anyway, you guys take care. Much love. And I'll see you next time. Bye.